All right, hey everyone, this is ThuggzBunney. We are here with Down the Irons podcast, episode 2, and I am here with my co-host RaNDiM. RaNDiM, what's up?
What up? What up? How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. And we also have our first guest episode. He was your number 7 on your list?
Yes, 7 on my list. Yep.
7, and just missed honorable mentions. I easily could have thrown you in there. WezYFBabY or Tesup. How's it going, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you for having me.
of course, of
You're
course.
welcome.
Um,
Thank you.
so
Thank you.
we do have a bigger topic for today that we'll get into, but just before we do, real quick, the Uncharted 2 tournament that I was planning for July or August. Just a few quick updates because last time I mentioned that it was going to be 5v5 and TDM, and that has changed. It is almost definitely going to be 4v4 now, and we are going to include objective modes as well. And that's basically for two reasons. One, that's always been the case, which is that like TDM, everyone has played it like a million fucking times for years and years, and it gets
Yeah,
stale.
it's time to switch it up, y'all. It's been 15 years. Come on.
Yeah,
Both other Uncharted play OBJ modes. It's time to bring it to Uncharted 2.
yeah. So it's always been a discussion, even like what 2016 I think it was when Uncharted 4 dropped, right? Or yeah, it was
Yep,
2016. So
2016.
in
Hmm.
my tournament that was just before Uncharted 4, I was debating whether to do TDM or objectives, and I think for that one I did end up doing objectives, but yeah, it was always this balance between do we do the standard TDM, which everyone has practiced so much and knows so well, and like this is how so many people and so many teams evaluate like how good we are right now and how well we're doing. Like this is just where you prove yourself as a player and as a team,
Yeah.
or do we do objectives and people can complain like, oh, it's not real, like people don't practice this, it's like but it's like again, how many years can we play TDM? um
Just TDM, bro. Like,
yeah,
there could be TDM tournaments in the future too. It's not like they're permanently going away.
yeah, for
It's
sure.
just it's time to freshen up the experience.
Okay, so yeah, the first reason just being the staleness of TDM, which TDM is still included in the tournament. It's still one of the modes, and I will very likely have TDM only tournaments at some point in the future still. But yeah, the second main reason was basically there are a lot of people who are coming back to Uncharted 2 for the first time in a while, like even longer than just the 2019 like end of the servers or whatever. And there are players who have like really never played it at all or never played competitively, who were more prominent or more active on Uncharted 3 and or Uncharted 4, and OBJ modes
Yes.
are not these scary boogeymen things to be worried about ruining
Yes.
your precious Uncharted 2
Yes.
competitive scene. Like it's fine. We will survive objective modes. Okay, um, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be different. It's
Yes.
we'd all be
But
brave boys and
it'll be
girls.
fine. It'll be fun. We'll live.
It's very fun. We've played
And
a,
like
a
this is
f-
a new beginning for Uncharted. We should treat it that way.
mhm.
And yeah, like you said, like I feel like there will be bigger turnout with Uncharted 3 and Uncharted 4 teams also coming back to play, hopefully. Like that's the goal. Versus they probably wouldn't if it was just TDM because playing TDM only is kind of like, what are you doing? You
Yeah,
know?
and that's like the biggest criticism or complaint that a lot of players coming back have right now is when they're bouncing
Yes,
between
for
Uncharted
sure.
2, 3, and 4. It's like, why are we doing TDM every game?
Only on
Yeah.
the same four maps.
Uh huh. Yeah, and Yeah, the objective modes aren't like perfectly tweaked for Uncharted 2 and the settings there, but with the right maps and with some thought
Yeah,
into which
still an
settings.
enjoyable experience.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, and not. I don't think it's even just like for the novelty of it. I think genuinely there are very viable competitive options with the objective modes.
Definitely.
So yeah, that's just a little announcement. I guess the other little part of that is that it currently it's looking like it will be more likely in August than July, just because people are still rolling into the beta. It takes time to get whitelisted. It takes time for people to get back into their Uncharted 2 form, and it takes time to assemble teams and all that. So we don't want to rush it, and
And patches too.
yeah, and yeah, we're still expecting some kind of balance patches to come to the game, and ideally, that is not happening mid tournament.
Yes.
So yeah, an extra few weeks or month gives gives more time for us to kind of dodge that and give teams a chance to practice under the updated meta and updated uh,
Yes.
balance. So yeah, um, yeah, but besides that, our main topic for today is going to be a much quicker one than last time. Uh, so
We hope.
that's good. No, we will
Yeah,
make
don't say
sure.
that yet.
I'm saying it so that I can hold myself accountable to it.
Accountable, yeah. Just
Yeah.
edit out
Sure.
half of it at the video.
It's just constantly jumping in the conversation. Oh my god, it's so funny.
The
Okay.
call ends in 45 minutes. Then we're
Um.
out.
Oh god. Okay. I think we can do it. Okay. That's the goal. A little bit more brief, and then future episodes. I think almost all of them are going to be under 2 hours for sure.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
There are a
Between the hour
few.
to 2 hour range.
Yeah, there are one or two other topics that could be like big deep dive conversations, but even for those, I think we're gonna try and keep it a little bit more brief. Um, but yeah, the subject for today is going to be tier list ranking the Uncharted 2 multiplayer maps, the standard and DLC. So what we're going to do is we don't. Well, I don't know if you guys made individual lists, but we're not necessarily going to go through each person's each person's placement of each map. We'll just go alphabetically through the maps and have a few minutes chat and figure out where we want to place them and have a
Come to an agreement. Okay.
yeah, a collaborative list. Um, so
Sounds
yeah,
good.
unless there's if there isn't anything else that you guys have to say or wanna jump in with, then we can just start right on the ranking.
Sounds good, man. Let's do it.
Sure. Sure.
Okay, so first one, probably the most beloved DLC map. We're going facility. Um, does anyone want to
Is
start
that
us off?
the end we're beginning with?
Yeah, we're going alphabetical. So facility
Sure.
is the first, unless I have forgotten my alphabet.
I
Does
would
All
any-
definitely
right.
put it in A tier. It's definitely A tier for me. I don't think it's it's not perfect like some of the maps we'll get to later, but it's still very solid. I think there's a solid distinction between like where you want to be and where you don't want to be as far as map control goes. Like you want to be up top, you want to be in the boiler room, you want to be on sniper, you want to have control of the hammer. It's also big enough to where like the spawns aren't complete trash like fucking Ice Cave and Sanctuary, but at the same time like it's not too big like High Rise. Um,
yeah.
so yeah, that's my take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's an A map as well. It's not it's not an S plus, but I think it's definitely, in my opinion, spoiler alert, one of the better DLC maps.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's it's an even better plunder map than a TDM map.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree
I
with
think so, because I think there's also a good amount of distance from the hero spawn to the villain spawn.
that. Yeah,
It's not like Museum, for example, where it's very, very close. And I also like it because there's many different levels. There's two levels, I guess, height levels, you would say,
yeah,
and then there's the submarine in the middle, and some
right.
other parts where you can sort of get a
Very vertical
height
map.
advantage.
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's still balanced. It's not like you're
yeah.
getting shot
It's not
from
high
up
rise.
above, and
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Even just
So I
sorry, go ahead.
no, I agree. It's an A map, definitely an A map.
Yeah. For sure, there's so many different sections within the facility where like interesting kind of gunfights can take place. Like I'm thinking just around like both sides of the M4 where you have like that slight height advantage and the cover to play off of, and yeah, obviously the whole subsection in the middle. There's like the staircases on both sides. There's
Yeah.
interesting ways to approach those as far as like breaking through those or defending them.
Yep.
So it's really nicely
There's
set.
also a lot of small details. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
Oh, you're good. Go ahead.
Like imagine or do you remember the bathroom
Yeah, the
underneath?
mirror in the bathroom. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
just a
That's
small
just
detail like
fire.
that, and
Yeah.
the way you can shoot. I think you can shoot through where the M4 spawns on the hero side. You can shoot through the glass as well,
Yeah.
Okay.
the windows.
Right.
And it feels like a very detailed map. Like it's a lot more
Yeah,
detailed than the standard maps, which I
for
think is
sure.
kind of fun and interesting. It looks
And
like they
it,
put
it
kind of a
has the
lot of time on
cargo
it.
going around the map. That's always
Yeah,
cool. I think that's in two,
exactly.
right? 7-3. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So
Though,
I'm.
like, go ahead, Thugs.
Oh
Go ahead.
yeah. I was just saying I'm also putting it in A tier, so this is super easy for us.
Yeah, I bet we agree. The
Yeah.
one and only thing that like I can't decide if I like or not is like the hole going up into tractor, like or
In the
like
office area.
going up into boiler
Oh,
room where the tractor is.
well, I like that.
Yeah, it's
I like
like
that too, because that's another one of
But
its
which hole are you
own
talking about?
interesting like situations.
the tractor hole where you can get up into boiler
The
room, like right
tractor
next to
hole.
the
Okay, yeah.
sniper. Yeah, yeah.
Because you have
It's
another
like
hole in the office.
yeah, yeah, but like at least when I played Uncharted 3, that's when most of my experience playing Facility came to be. So I would assume it hasn't changed. Maybe it has. I don't know. But like in Facility TDM, like you mainly want to take control of the boiler room, which is where that hole is.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so basically, like if you're holding down that main room in the sniper area, like somebody has to watch that hole so that so that people can't climb up there and flank you. And obviously, if you're the guy in charge of just sitting there watching the hole, you're probably not having a good time. But like, I can't decide if I like it or not because it's so interesting. Like, imagine on Temple if there was just like a back door to get into Catwalk, and somebody could just sneak up there when you're not looking and fucking shoot everybody in the back. So
Yeah.
I can't decide if I like it or not. I think it's cool as far as map design goes, but just as far as a competitive scene goes, I don't know how I feel about it. But yeah.
Yeah. Uh, yeah. I do like it just because of kind of what I was saying earlier, how it's like segmented into these different sections like that. So you have that kind of awkward climb up spot there, and on the other like office side,
The
and
other
then you have
side,
the
yeah.
staircases where you can approach. You have the ladder you can climb up to like boiler room.
Yep. So many ladders.
Yeah.
Both sides of the hammer, yeah.
So it's interesting, and I feel like different styles of players find their spots on the map where they play the environment well, and
Yep.
yeah. All right, A tier. That's super
It's a good
easy.
looking map as well. Nice
Yeah.
It's very
colors.
beautiful. Very
Yeah.
beautiful.
So
No high
I
points.
am just real quick. Oh yeah, actually, I wanted to. We don't have to get super deep into this, but I guess do you have like a really quick explanation of like how you rank maps? Like for me personally, it's mostly going to depend on how it plays in TDM, just because I know how the maps
Yeah.
play in TDM. Like I can't say too much
Yeah.
about the objectives besides like plunder. We know works really well on facility. So for me, it's how does it play in TDM? how does it play in objectives to whatever extent I am familiar with it, and then aesthetics is also a small factor for me.
Mine is pretty much just going to be TDM only, because that's all we played for 15 years. So yeah, like if we were like if I was going to factor in OBJ as well, then my list would probably need a lot more thought, and I would probably have to. It would probably be way too chaotic. So I'm just going to keep it simple and do TDM.
Sure. Are you doing the same, Wheezy? Just pretty much TDM?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cool.
I don't think I will change the ranking depending if I like it in plunder or not. But it's
Yeah. We can shout
it's a
we can
plus.
shout out good
Yeah.
plunder maps, but other than that,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So facility, super easy. We all agree A tier. It's not quite the top of the top, but there's really no like fatal flaws with it. It's just a good map.
yes, agreed.
All right.
Definitely.
And next one then is going to be. I'm very curious where you have this ranked. I really, really love this map, especially for the aesthetics, but like lately, not so much. But what do you guys think
And you're
of
talking
the
about Flooded Ruins.
Flooded Ruins?
I have it in B tier. I definitely don't think it's as good as Facility. I think overall it's really fun to play.
Fucking gorgeous
I
map.
like, yeah, absolutely gorgeous map. It looks so dope in the rain. Oh, chef's kiss, chef's kiss. The only knock I would give it is like it's not. I don't think what side you hold is super important.
Oh wow.
I think the like there is a side that I think is better than the other, but I don't think like I think you can still win being on the bad side. Like it's not like Temple where like if you're at the bottom of the map the whole game there's like a 90% chance you're going to lose. I don't think it's like that. I think
Yeah.
both sides have a decent chance to win. Like maybe like 60-40 give or take.
And you're thinking like
I think
inside versus outside of the dome.
Yeah. I think outside of the dome is better overall. But yeah, I mean, it's like it's not that symmetrical, but yeah.
It's almost
So yeah,
shaped like a circle. Or no, not a circle, an oval. No?
yeah, kind of.
Like
There are
like
some
a
branch
football,
offs.
like an American
It's not
football, I would
it's
say.
not a perfect oval, but it's. I
No.
can see why you say that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it in B tier. Not my favorite, but it's also pretty good. I wouldn't mind playing it in a competitive match.
I would also. It seems like I'm copying you, but I'm not. I would also put it in B. I think it's. I think it's a bit worse than Facility, or less good. Because I think I mean, it's a beautiful map aesthetically. I think it's just as good as Facility. But my one pet peeve with the map is that there's a bunch of rubble on it. There's almost too much rubble, like things you get stuck on. It's almost
Yeah, when you're trying to
velocity syndrome,
Right.
where you're constantly stumbling over things, and that affects gameplay. I think it affects the way you sort of enjoy the map.
It's a good take.
And I think also it might be a bit. There's not many straight lines of sight. There's always things in like disturbing.
Right.
So it's a bit
Your
chaotic
precious
in that
foul
way. You can
gameplay.
always, yeah, you can always get shot in the back, in the side.
Right.
But I think it plays well normally.
Yeah. Yeah.
But honestly, I would like to put it between B or C, but I think B.
Like a
is
B
where it
minus.
belongs. Yeah, let's put it. For me, B is fine, but I would,
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, so I think I used to have it in like S tier. It was early on. It was my favorite map.
I know.
I think I
Yeah.
part of it is, and I guess I should say this is also kind of a factor, but just like into TDM, like part of it is how well I feel like I figured out the map, and so like how when I feel like I figured out a map and how to play it really well, it just feels like okay, there is like a right or yeah, like a smart way to play this map, and like other people who like really struggle on it and like just hate it, like haven't figured out like how to utilize their skill set on the map.
How to play it. Yeah.
Yeah, so a little bit of bias for me, especially like early on, because I feel like I have had some of my best matches on Flooded Ruins. But yeah, I can't get over how weird, and I think outside of the dome is like significantly advantaged. Like I think it's pretty close to.
Interesting.
I think it's like pretty much the same as Temple in terms of it's just so open.
Interesting. Okay.
I will say I think the only thing outside of the dome, the only thing that makes that less OP than Temple is just because of how much easier I think it is to spawn outside,
Yeah.
as opposed to
Yeah.
Catwalk. Like you can erase the
Right.
Catwalk spawn.
Temple's really hard to take over. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just outside of it, there is enough space that you can get spawn outs more frequently. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man, I've had some brutal matches just getting fucked up inside of the dome, like sniped, deagle, like everything is just
Yeah.
it's just open season on us when we're inside. It's brutal.
Yeah. There's a lot of cover, like small pieces of cover, but as
Yeah,
well,
you
like
can't
if you're
move
in the
though.
middle of
Yeah.
the dome, yeah, you can almost get trapped, like essentially spawn
Hmm.
trapped inside that dome, and then obviously the hammer's in the middle, then you're gonna have a hard time. And they
Yeah.
have the height advantage as well with the Desert Eagle and also the catwalks on the sides.
Yeah.
So it can be a brutal map if you have a lesser team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or the other team really knows how to play it well.
For
Yeah.
sure.
So yeah, based on that dynamic, and as Weezy kind of mentioned, how kind of cluttered the outside is, I have it like either bottom of B tier or top of C tier. So we will put it
Okay.
in B.
2 against 1.
Yeah, like I'm debating it when I brought it up.
I could put it in C, honestly. I could.
Hey.
Yeah.
Don't be a hater.
We'll keep it B because I was leaning towards C, but
Yeah.
I was like, it's really not that bad. It's just
There are
if
other worse maps, of course.
yeah,
That goes
if
without
Yeah.
you
saying.
if you have a really good team and they have like a really good player, particularly at Deagle, and they get that spawn trap, then it's very ugly. but but other than that, it's
Of course.
fun. Obviously, I think it's the best aesthetic map.
For sure.
So
I
yeah,
don't agree with that, but let's continue.
okay. Um, so facility A tier, flooded ruins B tier. Um, all right, then the third map, and this is gonna be fun. We might fight a little bit on this. Fort.
Blech.
Start us off,
Trash.
random.
Absolute garbage. Absolute garbage. Fort is the worst map in the goddamn game. Bottom of F tier. No. No, bro. Like, Fort is no. In all seriousness, Fort is trash. Like, why do we play this map so often? Like, it is entirely symmetrical. There is zero side advantage. It doesn't matter if you're on dark side. It doesn't matter if you're on light side. It's all the fucking same. So there's no reason to push, especially no power weapons. There is zero reason to push. There is zero reason to move. Every match, like, barely gets to 30 kills. We sit there for 20 minutes just fucking fouling each other, fucking trying to get nade tricks. There's like hardly ever face-to-face gun battles, and if there is, like, you have two people also shooting you with the fucking foul from across the map. It's like the spawns are atrocious. Like, just so many things are bad about this map. Like, I've even had matches where, like, it was power weapons and we fucking just held the bottom the whole time and we won just from holding the bottom. Like, I just feel like a map shouldn't be able to do that, man. Like, the only fucking reason to push is the RPG, and even then, it's like not even that big a deal, in my opinion, because it's just, I don't know. Porch trash. What do y'all think?
I would say that I really used to like Fort way long ago. Essentially, it was my best map when I was, let's say, below level 50. So
Well, we're talking about
a very
competitive, Wheezy.
yes,
Competitive.
of course. I'm coming to that.
Well,
It
I
depends on
factor
Sorry,
in
someone.
go ahead.
pubs too.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Wait, we're
Uh,
factoring in pubs? I'm not factoring in pubs at all. Whatever, go ahead.
I really used to like it though. I think it was a better map. It's a better map if in a more casual environment.
Yeah,
If
I
you're
mean, I
talking
liked
about
it in
competitive,
pubs, but
then obviously it's it's not my favorite
We're a
map. I would
competitive
say
podcast, guys. We're not casuals. Come on.
yeah, come on, Kempero. Competitively, I don't think it's very good. As you said, it's very symmetrical, and you end up dying to a lot of corner shooting and grenades, and it's very hard to make a push. And
Even if
the
there's like a
lesser
reason
team,
to.
yeah, the lesser team can absolutely win fort every time as long as they are sticking
Getting
to a
lucky with
specific
nades.
playstyle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because
And
there are
lighting.
a lot of examples of teams that are perhaps not very good at other maps, Temple Plaza more strategic maps, but they are very good at
Mm-hmm.
forts because they have this particular playstyle.
Yeah.
So I would say honestly, for me, I don't know if you give a ranking random, but I would put it. I since we are judging it competitively, I would put it in D, absolutely.
Yeah.
D.
F tier, D tier, whatever. There's not an F tier on Thugs'
No, I
tier
would put
list,
it in
so
D tier.
D. Like, bro, literally another thing is that literally one person's entire fucking job on that map is to just spawn kill people. Like, they literally just sit in the corner
Mm-hmm.
of the map and just stand there
Yeah, top of
staring at a
stairs.
fucking spawn kill. That is their entire job for 20 whole minutes, is to just sit there and look at a wall until somebody spawns there. The map is so terrible, bro. Anyway, Thugs, go ahead.
All right. So the reason I put Fort in S tier is no, I'm just kidding.
Fuck you.
No.
I quit the pod.
Oh my god. Episode 2, the end.
Yeah, the farewell pod.
Good. All right.
Short-lived.
So I have Wheezy. I'm counting yours as F tier because I have A B C or S A B C and F. So I would put Fort in C tier. So yeah, I'm not bothered by the different kind of ends of the spectrum where Fort is this super slow down. You have this battle between, or a little bit of a battle between both side spawn foul players, like kind of going at each other or going at the people like trying to cross around the mid map up top, and that dynamic I think is super interesting. And Fort is the only map that I think offers that like at all. Like I really can't think. Maybe on like Deagle side of Trainwreck, you have some foul battles like just
Yeah,
kind of cross
like
map.
top red, top green.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sometimes.
But even then, it's just so immediately interrupted by
Yeah, everybody
you know,
else.
people on top. Yeah, so I really think there are interesting like segments of the map. Like obviously the spawn killing is just like stupid. It's basically a 4v4 plus like some
Yeah,
yeah.
it literally is. Yeah.
And I do think it is there is an interesting dynamic to how you play Cannon Room and Shield, how you get there, how you defend it, and the support that you need from your teammates to defend it. And so I do think it is a really like connected, like one bad player can really fuck the map up for you. So you really need to be connected as a team. And yeah, there is something really unique about it that other maps don't really offer. But that being said, it can't be higher than C for me just because, again, the spawns are, I think, debatably the worst just because it's also so stagnant. It's not like everything's moving and so it's already like in chaos and you can't predict the spawns anyway, but like Fort is completely solid, someone dies and then suddenly they're in your spawn.
Yeah.
And a bad spawn where you get like two or three kills as a result of it could win the game.
There's a lot in that map, yeah, because you're only fucking having matches that are
Yeah,
like 25 to 23.
considering how much work you have to do to get a kill otherwise. Yeah, so it's just a really weird it's a really weird map for competitive. I do have a little bit of a sweet spot for it just because it is so weird. It is so interesting to me, but the the problems with it are significant. Um,
Yes.
and it's really I think that's pretty much it. I think the dominance of that foul players can have on it is super unique, and I like that. But just if I bird's eye view, like especially in the context of all the other maps, it's very weird, and it definitely isn't the best. It might be one of the worst like tests of like who is the better team. I mean, I guess this is a negative for you, Randa, but like waiting for someone to make the mistake and capitalizing on that, and yeah, just baiting players to make a mistake or to overcommit to something, and that dynamic is really interesting to me. So that's why it's C tier and not F tier for
Yeah,
me.
like
But I
I'm
can't
all for
deny
that
any of
dynamic
the.
in a normal setting, but
Mhm.
like it's just somebody overcommits, you kill them, and then that's it. Like nothing happens. Like you still stay in the same spot essentially. Like yeah, maybe you push down, maybe,
Yeah, that's
but
fair.
like
Yeah,
even then, who gives a fuck? It's not like somebody makes a mistake and overcommits on temple, and then you can push catwalk,
Yeah,
or
then there's an
like you can push
interesting.
desert on yeah
Hmm.
yeah an interesting outcome. No, it's just like oh cool, I got one kill, guys. Yeah, woohoo.
Right.
Anyway,
it's
go back
also
to
So
a
like
hiding.
a.
very it's also a very punishing map as well. If you're a team that
Hmm.
likes to play a bit more aggressive and you're playing
Yeah,
against a
you
team
you,
that's
you
very
can
very
you
good at
can
camping, then
yeah
if you're making a move and suddenly you're down 5 kills, then that's going to be a struggle to get back those kills. And it's not
yeah
because the other
exactly
team is playing
exactly better. It's just
more
that they're hiding more.
better. It's just that the maps lends the gameplay to a more camping
Hmm.
style, and obviously it's
Yes.
very easy to, since this is a third person view game, you can just stand
Mm-hmm.
behind a wall, an indestructible wall,
Yep.
Hmm.
and essentially
Yep.
bait and wait for people. As soon as
Yep.
and
And then once you
that's
get the lead, all you
maybe
need to
that's
do is
not the
trade
map's
or
fault, but
spawn castle.
I mean the
Yeah.
map promotes that sort of gameplay, which is
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Yeah. For me,
But it's a
I.
beautiful map though. I do like the plane. That's my
Hmm.
favorite part. The plane that comes in crashing in the beginning. So that's a
Yeah.
plus.
For sure. Yeah, and I personally like the I do really like the kind of mind games that you can play in that map, and trying to draw people out and all kinds of fun stuff like that for me. But I can't disagree with any of the things you bring up, and like you mentioned on Temple, or for example Plaza, you'll have those really slow down stalemate kind of situations. But if there's a critical mistake, it it catalyzes a lot of motion and shuffling, and yeah, so it goes through these stages of slow down, and then something happens, and it begins a whole clash, and then slows down again once the things settle, and yeah, so there is at least this dynamic of kind of fluctuating pace and all that, so that you just don't get on Fort.
Makes sense.
All
True.
right. All right, so Fort is going to be going in F tier. Um,
Yes.
yeah, 2 against 1. Um, the next map,
That's why you're my homie, Weezy now.
the next map um, is I think probably most people's F tier. We're going high rise, but I'm interested in your guys' perspective.
Yeah, definite F tier. It's just way too fucking big. Like some like the buildings have 3 different levels. There's so many nooks and crannies to hide in, and it's just gigantic. Like I feel like it plays a little better in Uncharted 3 just because there's sprint. You can get around the map a lot faster. But with the slower movement in Uncharted 2, I just feel like it's kind of ass. Like,
Hmm.
and it's like you have to play it on 5v5. There's no way you can do it any other way. Essentially, like even 4v4, I think would be kind of bad. Um, but
Hmm.
yeah, I don't think we really need to say much here. There's just way too much hiding, camping, way too fucking big. Too many nooks and crannies. Yeah, F tier for me. I'd actually, I put Fort above High Rise, believe it or not. But spoiler
Damn.
alert, that's the only map I put below Fort.
All right. I would say this is hands down the most beautiful map in the game.
Really
Yes.
interesting.
It's the first off, it's the only map outside where you can see the direct sunlight.
Interesting.
Another like flooded ruins, obviously you're outside a bit, but it's
Yeah.
raining. Facility, I guess you're never complete. No, I mean you're partly
No,
outside
you're always
along the
inside.
submarine. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh,
What about
and
village though?
village, no, it's cloudy. It's cloudy.
Okay.
It's a rainy, cloudy, depressing
Wheezy is a sun
village.
enjoyer. We learned that today.
Yes. So I would say that for that reason, it's the most beautiful map, and I also like the thing that I love about High Rise is the as long it's the same with Flood Ruins, like the details, the small details, like the elevator shafts,
Right.
and obviously it's maybe too big for this game,
Yeah.
but
It's a 6v6 map.
I have a real
Yeah,
I
for
have a
sure.
real soft spot for this map, and I wish they could scale it down. Maybe if you
Yeah.
cut off a part of it and
Yeah,
make one
like
part playable.
yeah. No, I think that's a good take. Like if you could scale it down, I would enjoy it a lot more, I think. Um
Because
it's a very
I think it
enjoyable
has
map for
potential.
pubs, I think. As long as
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
5v5, 4v4 in pubs, I think it's fun.
yeah.
I think the fact that the helicopter can take away the RPG spawn is kind of neat. It's a cool little novel thing. But just for comp, nah, it's not the move.
Yeah, so if you're saying this for comp, honestly I've never played this competitively. High Rise, obviously, never really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For a pub bonus I would put it in C or above C. I
Interesting.
think it's fun. I think it's fun.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, for pubs, I
I
agree.
can I be controversial and put it above Fort?
Yeah.
I think it's more fun.
Sure. Yeah, why
Go
not,
for it.
bro? Do it.
I mean, obviously it belongs in the same category as Fort, but I would put it above
Yeah.
Fort.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep it short for High Rise. I do think it's a really good looking map. Um, really, they kind of popped off with the design of all the DLC maps aesthetically.
DLC for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
It looks
it's
like they put a lot more effort into small details on the DLC maps.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I would say that High Rise is unplayable for competitive TDM. Like it's. I've never considered having it in a tournament. It just doesn't work. It's also I've played a little bit of OBJ on it. It doesn't work for objective modes at all. If that matters to
God.
anyone, yeah, it's um, looks great. There are some like areas of the map that are interesting for how you play them and the gunplay and gunfight like situations that you can get into. There's some fun stuff. Some sections of the map. Um, Yeah, but it's way too big. Also, not like very well structured. It's kind of messy and yeah, there's just no. It's very much just like so segmented into like different areas and it's just very
It's
weird
hard to work as a
and
team, I
awkward.
think, just because
Yeah.
like each person is holding down their own building and that's about it. Like when you're ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's F tier for me. I think it's definitely worse than Fort. Um, so I guess so. Yeah, it's gonna be bottom F tier if RaNDiM and I both have it below Fort.
Darn.
Yeah, but
No, that's
if
valid. That's valid. Yeah, of course.
yeah, at least Fort works for a certain style of play. But High Rise, it's just kind of nothing. But yeah, for pubs,
Yeah.
um, public matches, and just for the looks of it, I could go like B or A tier for just the looks and
Yeah.
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 So yeah, um, F tier we have Fort and High Rise. B tier Flooded Ruins. Facility A tier. Um, and on to the next one. All right. So then next one is we're getting all the good ones out first. Ice Cave.
Oh, Ice Cave. Um think it's an aesthetically pleasing map. Honestly, I think the only thing holding back Ice Cave are the atrocious spawns. If it wasn't for that, I don't think Ice Cave would be that bad. I think its layout is kind of similar to Temple, where there's like there's a top and a bottom. There's a left lane and a right lane, um, and there's a middle lane, but it's just not. It's wide open compared to Temple's like Deagle. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think it's terrible other than the spawns. I think the spawns make it kind of atrocious. I feel like the spawns are so bad it's almost unplayable. Like you could spawn at the top of the you could spawn on the top base, literally take like 10 steps out, pick up a sniper, and then the enemy team is spawning behind you and shooting you in the back. It's
Mm-hmm.
like so dumb. So and
Yep.
it's so fucking fast too. Like it's kind of small. I think they could have like spread the dimensions out a little bit to make it a little bigger. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but so yeah, because of that, I have it in F, just above Fort. I'd rather play it over Fort.
Wow.
Yeah, I still think it can be fun though. Like
Mhm.
you just have to get lucky
Really?
and not have motherfuckers spawn behind you. Yeah. And again, like
Uh,
if Reloaded can fix the terrible spawns, I think it might not be that bad. I think we could be up there with like Sanctuary, Lost City, in my opinion, if they can fix the spawns. But as of right now, nah.
I would say that this is not a bad map. I honestly like it, even in competitively. I think it's a good map.
Wow.
But the
Interesting.
you're
Hot
absolutely
take.
right
Hot
about
take.
the spawns are the spawns are very bad. If the spawns were better, I think this would be a Virginia
Yeah,
on
I
a
could
great
definitely put
map.
it in like B, like B.
Yeah, there's
Definitely
a few
C,
things that hold
if
it
not
back. Yeah,
B, if the spawns are
I
better.
would say just as now, as it is now, I would put it in C. I think it's a C map for me.
Okay, no, that's fair.
Absolutely, because it's a fun map. It's fast. It's fast paced. You're not really able to camp, which I think is a positive, honestly. Especially in competitive, you have to be more agile.
Yeah,
You have to
that's
move around the
true.
map, and there's two snipers, one hammer. It's not cluttered with power weapons. It's not an RPG as well. Obviously, there's the pistol, but the pistol is not that
I think nobody really picks it
usable.
up that much.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. I honestly, I think it's definitely a C map as it is now.
Okay.
But the spawns hold it back. If not, I could put it in B if it had correct spawns.
I respect that.
Okay. Wait.
Respect that,
And
guy.
it's
Random.
beautiful as well.
What tier did you have it in? Oh, you said F
F
tier. Okay, top of F tier.
above Fort. Yeah.
Okay, so I have Ice Cave, maybe below High Rise. Um,
Wow.
I think
Okay.
it's like,
Wow.
I think it's way, way too small. I think it's like a 2v2 map. Um, yeah, the spawns are insane. It's really like long, so it's just like there's like a little circle down by the hammer that you can play with, and then it's just a hallway up top, and then there's like
Yeah.
a staircase that you can't really move on the other side. It's just an open. So it's I think it's so clunky. It's again just a big hallway up top. Um, Probably the worst spawns I think of any map. Maybe Fort is worse just because of how like consequential a bad spawn can be on Fort. Um,
Right.
but yeah, Ice Cave is like it's 2v2, maybe 3v3. Like 5v5 is insane.
That's
Um,
ferocious. Yeah, for sure.
it's fucking wild. Yeah, I think it can only really work for plunder, just because I think that like top
Yeah.
hallway kind of dynamic is interesting um,
hmm
for running the idol and potential.
I do like it as a plunder map. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm.
it's very good for plunder.
Yeah, but
I don't think the spawns are as bad in plunder either. Go ahead.
mm, yeah. So for me, it's I
I'm
can't.
surprised you guys don't like it as much. It definitely doesn't suit my playstyle either, but I think it's a very good map. I like it a lot.
Interesting.
It forces you
It's
to
just
sort
the
of
spawns being so bad. Like again, if the spawns weren't so bad, and like I feel like it would definitely be higher for me. But the spawns just ruin it entirely.
Yeah, but
hmm.
I think the spawns are a consequence of the size too, because there's like where
Yeah.
else can you spawn?
Yeah.
You know?
Spawns are blocked in so much because there's so many people on the map. Yeah, because it's only so big. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So yeah,
So where would that put it then?
so I think it would be
Thugs and I both have it in F, right?
top of F tier. It would have to be.
Right.
Yeah, it's again, it's way too small. Like I don't know what they were thinking with that, and
Yeah, they need to stretch out the dimensions for sure.
it's
It's like the opposite of high-rise.
uh-huh,
High-rise, they need to make smaller. Ice cave, they need to make bigger.
yep, yeah. Um, yeah, because again, at least high rise, you don't have to deal with like weird spawns. Like you're gonna have some space when you spawn in high rise.
Yeah.
So yeah, top of F tier. Maybe we could at the end move it up to bottom of C tier if we want to revisit it. But for now, one
Sounds
C
good.
tier and two F puts it at the top of F. All right. So next map is going to be Lost City.
Lost City.
Hmm.
I don't think Lost City is as bad as people think it is. Every time I played it in like a tournament or a competitive scene, I've had fun. It's like it can either be fast or slow. Like you could definitely, it could be like a hectic village scenario where you get the 50 kills pretty quick, or it can be like super campy where you're just hoarding the power weapons and it ends like 30 to 20 or whatever. Um, hot take, hear me out. I think Lost City is basically exactly the same as Fort, except there's a reason to move around the map. Think about it, okay? On Lost City, just like Fort, it's completely symmetrical. Like on Fort, it does not matter if you have dark or if you have light. It's all exactly the same. On Lost City, it does not matter if you're on wet side or if you're on dry side. It's all exactly the same. Like sure, spawns might be slightly different, but for the most part, it does not matter which side you're on. The only difference between the two maps is that on Lost City, there is a reason to push. There's a reason to move. You're not just sitting behind the same fucking wall the entire map. You want to go get the RPG. You want to go get the hammer. You want to go get the deagles and the power weapons. There's actually a fucking reason to move. So for everything I just listed, I have a Lost City in the bottom of B tier.
Really?
Yes,
Jesus Christ.
bottom of B
Okay.
tier. I could go like C plus, B minus,
I
but
honestly, I
we don't
thought
have
you were
that
gonna.
here, so bottom of B.
Wow.
I expected it to be S or A
Okay.
for you, honestly.
Fuck no. It's not that good. It's not that good.
Yeah, but in terms of like
Okay.
after the Temple Village Plaza set, then
Hey, spoilers. Hey, spoilers. No,
no, I mean the
I'm
standard
kidding.
like map order, Temple Village, then Plaza.
Yeah. After the standard
Wow.
map order, yeah, I would probably rather play
B tier,
Lost
you said?
City. Yeah, B tier. Bottom of B. I have it below Flooded Ruins.
Okay.
Right.
I could
Honestly,
I
I
could
have
put it
to.
C plus.
Yeah, I hard disagree with you. Lost City
Okay,
is
fair enough.
one
Hot
of
take.
the, I would say one of the worst maps on this game.
Wow. Okay.
It's the same. It has. I said it earlier. The Flood Ruins has the Lost City clutter syndrome. There's
Yeah.
too many things to get stuck on. Too many things to sort of in your way all the time. There's only lines of sight. Like the straight lines of sights are the cab walks essentially, on each side. The cab walks and also the basement, which that's not enough. I
And
don't
shooting
think.
across the base to the waterfall, and same on the opposite side.
You can, but also you have the RPG room in the middle, and it's
Yeah.
cluttered, and there's too many things for your. Essentially, you lose aim assists on all of the things that are in
Yeah,
your sort
that's
of
true.
lines
That's
of
true.
sight, and it also lends to like very like tight corridors, like shotgunny melee spam gameplay. Um, and I think there's too many power weapons on it. This
Yeah,
RPG hammer,
I can agree with that.
I can say that though. I think it's a better competitive map than it is a public map. I hated it
For sure. For
for
sure.
pubs.
Yeah.
Competitive, honestly, I think it's below ice caves for me. It can be. I can stretch it to bottom of C tier.
Okay. That's
Under
fair.
that's my list. Obviously, on your list, ice
Yeah.
caves is an F. But I would
Right.
say that it's worse than ice caves.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's not as worse as Fort. It's better than Fort
Yeah.
though.
I feel like most people would probably agree with you. Mine is definitely a hot take, but yeah, I would definitely put it lower for. I would definitely put it lower for pubs, but for again, my list is strictly competitive, so I have it as B. Thugs, what you got? Thugs. He's dead.
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. We're good.
Oh, no, you're good.
No, I definitely have it closer to Wheezy's. I have it. I have it in C tier, so it's going to be in C tier if you have it B and Wheezy has it F.
Yeah, that's fine.
So it's going to be our first in C tier. I agree. I think it's definitely it's a little bit too cluttered. A little bit. It's not really small, but it feels really small just because of how it's laid out. And
interesting. I think it feels big.
Yeah, I just I agree that having Hammer and RPG on like a a cluttered kind of map is kind of wild, and you also have the deagles, the sniper, the shotgun, so it's like you got everything.
Yeah, there are a ton of power ups.
Yeah, so it's yeah, it's not horrible. I do think it's I think it's better than High Rise and Ice Cave for sure. I personally, I think I slightly prefer Fort over Lost City, but uh, but yeah, it's not the worst. The spawns are bad sometimes, but certainly not the worst. And honestly, every map has some bad spawns here and there.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
so yeah, I don't have too much to say.
The spawns are not my big gripe. I think it's the map layout. It's too cluttered, too busy.
Yeah.
Not enough straight, like uninterrupted lines of sight, and too much of a corridor shooter.
Yeah, I do.
Doesn't lend well to this game.
Yeah, yeah, I pretty much agree with all of Wheezy's gripes with it. But
That's fair. I respect all your gripes.
I will add
Mine's a hot
that
take.
I will add that I think the entire layout and kind of dynamic of the hammer tunnel area is really cool, and I think that's really unique.
That is nice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
nice. Yes,
I like that too. Like the map feels big to me, but you can still kind of like get around it quickly just by those tunnels, in a way.
For sure. All right, so Lost City C tier. All right, so Lost City C tier. The next map is the final DLC map we have here, Museum.
I don't think Museum is terrible, but I don't think it's great either. I think it kind of has a high rise syndrome where it's I think it's a little too big. I think they could have shrunk it down a little bit to have it be a little better. But I think the size is kind of saved a little bit by the amount of power weapons. Like I feel like it increases the flow of or the speed of the match where it's not just super campy. Like it doesn't have to be super campy like Fort all the time because there's reasons to push for the power weapons a bit. Um, I have it at the bottom of C, just above Ice Cave and F. I think I'd rather play it a little more than Ice Cave, but yeah, I think there's a reason to hold control over one side. Like you definitely want to be like in the main museum. I don't think you want to be opposite of that. So there's reasons to push despite its size. So I don't think it's terrible. I would play it over Ice Cave and Fort for sure.
Yeah, I would say honestly, this map I think is a good attempt at making a large map. Unlike, because obviously the focus of this second map pack that came out at the end was to make larger maps with High Rise and Museum, and I think this is a lot better of a try. And I think this actually is very playable.
Yeah, I agree.
I kind of base my list on a mix between public games and competitive, but I think it works for both. Honestly, it's not as it's a good mix between having some sort of cover, like big solid structures. You have the museum, and then you have obviously the two sides of the hero and villain spawn. They are kind of close to each other, which is some cases kind of awkward.
Yeah.
But it's not cluttered. You don't have you have a big, large open area in the middle with the fountain,
Yep.
and also it's large enough to have the power weapons that it has.
Yeah.
And obviously it's a great sniping map. It's a great FEL map, and I think I think it plays good in competitive, and it's a shame that we haven't played it more than we have, I guess. And I would put this, honestly, I would put this. I think it's probably it's definitely better than Lost City. I would put it between Ice Caves and Lost City. Ice Caves being better, and then this.
Okay.
Absolutely, I would put it in
Sure.
my.
Also, another really cool looking map, I think.
Yeah, it's very beautiful.
Yeah.
It
So
is.
Yeah.
so what tier
I
would
can
you
see
have
your
that
house from
for,
here.
Wheezy?
I think that would be for me in my list. I think that would be in C tier because I have Ice Caves and Lost City in C tier, so it would be in between them. Ice Cave being the best in C tier, this would be the middle, and then Lost City being the worst of C tier.
Okay. Wait, and Random, what tier did you have it?
Also C.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I have Museum B tier. I think it's really good.
Ah.
It's close to A for me.
Hot take. Hot take.
Wow,
Yeah,
I like it.
it's a little
yeah.
bit smaller than High Rise. I think it has much better structure. It has like more well-defined close corner sections and open sections. The power
Yeah.
weapons are like nicely placed and spread out and all that. The sniper's great on Museum. It's like how many sniper maps are there? It would be like putting a sniper on Fort. Like it's so fucking great
Yeah.
on Museum, which I think is awesome because sniper's never an overpowered weapon, but it's cool as shit
Yeah.
when you can when you can impact a game with
Right.
it.
Hot take. I think Sniper on Fort. Good idea.
Yeah, I mean honestly, it'd speed things up. It'd get people to move around a
Yeah.
little
Speed
bit.
things up. Yeah. More
'Cause-
power weapons on Fort.
Yeah, perhaps if they put the sniper in at the shotgun location. In
Yeah, I
Fort,
think
then
you can just get
really
rid of
have people
shotgun
rushing
entirely.
forts.
That's kind of fucking
Yeah.
pointless. Yeah, I would put a hammer there to be honest. Really speed that shit up. But yeah,
Hammer and a sniper on
maybe
Fort.
get rid of the M4s. Yeah, maybe get rid of the M4s. Put a sniper bit there or something. Yeah, I think that'd be cool.
That'd be badass. But yeah,
But I honestly, I kind of agree with you, Thugs. It's not a bad map, Museum.
yeah, it's like the only thing I could say like bad about it is it's I think slightly too small. Like I think it only works for 5v5 or and I think it's really good
Slightly
for
too small.
Slightly too big.
yeah. Like I think like 5v5 6v6 is perfect for
Yeah,
Museum. Like
yeah. I wouldn't want to do a 3v3.
Of course,
Yeah.
yeah.
Less.
No.
That's a good point. That's a
Yeah,
good
so
point.
it's kind of pushing it in terms of size. But yeah, I think it's cool as hell. I think it's another one of the best looking maps. The like purple sunset look is I fuck with it heavy. So yeah, it's top of B tier. It's close to A for me.
It
Which
also has a lot of elements where you could use the breakup booster, the cabinets inside
God,
the
what a-
museum. So I think that gives it a plus.
this
Just
fucking
that
guy.
Just this is a brownie point.
I
Hashtag
think
breakup.
so. I think so.
Buff breakup.
All right.
No, but also I think like even for competitive
But yeah,
in
the
5v5,
destructible objects are like kind of cool. I
yeah.
do agree.
Yeah. But you
It's like throw a
obviously,
grenade next to one and just the whole cabinet just explodes. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So that puts it for now just the top of C tier, and we can revisit it at the end if we need to. But top of C tier. All right. After Museum, we have this one. This one will probably be a pretty quick discussion. Plaza. Tell me about Plaza, Random.
Plaza, yes, easy S tier. Yeah, easy S tier for sure. Not really a debate there. I think from anybody. It's it's symmetrical enough to where like one side doesn't have a major advantage like other maps, but it's also, you know, defined enough to where there's a clear, like there's clear map positions you need to hold in order to spawn trap the other team, or, you know, just have the advantage overall. Um, there's like multiple strategies for how you take over map control. It's just it's really well played. I don't think there's much that needs to be said. I think everybody just kind of knows that Plaza's pretty sick.
Yeah, Plaza is my favorite map in the game. It's easily, in my opinion, the best map. It's S tier plus plus. I think it's the perfect size for a map in this game. It's
I agree.
quite large, obviously, and also it's large enough that we have areas that are not really played. I'm talking about the villain base and the hero base, like the top levels. Obviously, you can play them, and you definitely can play them in competitive. They have their uses, and I think that's a nice touch. And then also the middle section, it's open enough so you can have an undisturbed line of sight. You can have gunfight in the middle, and then also you have. I really like maps that have the element of climbing. So obviously in this game you have on Desert Eagle. That's a big part. I think that's what makes this multiplayer special.
There's also
there's not a lot of
verticality.
yeah, the verticality they build to scale. You don't really see that in a lot of games. You only see stairs and escalators and stuff like that. So I think that's a big plus.
I think Plaza is like the perfect map for all weapons. It's like on Village, like you're kind of like like using a FAL is kind of a struggle sometimes. Like, but Plaza, it's like the perfect mix of AK, FAL. You know, you can make some pistol in there, sniper, like literally everything like works well.
Yeah, so on Plaza, I think you can obviously use the FAL from both spawns. You can use it in the middle. You can use it from Desert Eagle. You can use it everywhere, and also obviously the AK works on every map. And on certain maps, like you said on Village, it's essentially only usable, the FAL is, from the villain spawn, which
up top.
that is
like
what it is. So
maybe
that's what makes
desert,
it
like maybe.
maybe.
But you're pushing it.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Plaza is like the Plaza is the map size map or map. Yeah, size wise, it's the perfect amount of map, and the flow of the map. The spawns are very good, fairly good. Sometimes obviously you can be a victim of
sometimes
spawn trapping.
But for the most part, they're good.
Yeah, for this game, I think that's the absolute masterclass.
Peak.
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. Plaza's gonna be S tier. I could be talked into like maybe top of A tier, but I have no problem with S. I do think some of the spawns, I think particularly just the hammer spawns can be really weird sometimes,
It's the only
especially
one I don't like.
And I mean maybe you could argue the oh god, how do I explain? You can like spawn kill directly like from map control on Plaza. Like if you're, oh gosh,
Shotgun room.
Shotgun room, to the back of like Blue Alley, or sandbags.
So I don't like that.
Reloaded can probably move those to where that doesn't happen eventually, hopefully.
Yeah, if it were just a few like feet over where they're not visible as they spawn, that could be different. So yeah, but at with the maps that we have, and considering the gripes that we have with other maps, like this is pretty nitpicky. It's just there's a few spawns that are questionable, but even those like back alley spawns that we were talking about, that's only really a problem if a team gains like complete map control. And
right.
So yeah, it's again, you guys mentioned it, perfect balance between AK and foul play, and I think just the right amount of power weapons. I think adding an RPG would be too much. I think taking away a sniper, taking away hammer would be too little. So
definitely agree.
Yeah, it's also solid for. I think it plays well for Plunder, but certainly I think King of the Hill is like really good on it. Yeah, and Plunder's all right. Turf 4 definitely doesn't work, but again,
they would have to adjust those.
But yeah, it's again, this is me nitpicking. It's S tier.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So Plaza S tier, and next map is Sanctuary.
Okay, Sanctuary. I think it's very comparable to Ice Cave and Lost City. I feel like it's really hectic. There's kind of a lot of power weapons. I think you might be able to like take one or two away, and it might feel a little better. The spawns are also pretty bad. Like you can kill somebody right outside the base, and then they're spawning like right next to you, like on the left or the right side of the base by like the grenade hut. Um, but overall, I don't think it's bad. I have it at the top of C tier, just below Lost City, above Museum. Um, I think it can be fun. Like the verticality is really cool with the basement and the tubes you can climb up, and then the shotgun area is cool. I think the bell towers are cool. Um, I think it might be a little small for competitive play. Like it's really fast. It can be really fast, and like I said, the spawns are atrocious. So I don't think it's perfect by any means. But overall, I don't mind it. I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think this is honestly I compare Lost City and Sanctuary together because I feel like Lost City has sort of the elements or Sanctuary has the elements of Lost City as well, with some sort of areas where I think it's a bit cluttered, but it doesn't have too many, or Sanctuary has a few more lines of sight, like the ones from the hero side, villain side, on the
Right.
outside where the hammer is, on that sort of catwalk.
Yeah.
Um, but then also it has, I think the verticality works better on Sanctuary, because you can have full-on gunfights in the basement. You can have it in the center area. It's quite open, so you can actually, where the M4 spawns, you can actually meet up there and have gunfights
Yep.
uninterrupted.
I
And
like
then
all the
also you
ways you
have
can flank too. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then also you have the rooftops, and also the rooftops of the bases as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Three
I think
levels
it
there.
works
It's pretty
better
good.
than Lost City because it's not as, for me, on Lost City I feel very claustrophobic each time I enter a
Interesting.
hallway or something.
Interesting.
I don't like
I'm the
it.
opposite. I think Lost City's big. I think Sanctuary's small. Like I was gonna say, like you should. I think that they should stretch Sanctuary out a bit, make it a little bigger.
It could definitely be bigger, yeah, for sure. I don't have any,
Okay.
but I would say it's honestly it's a good attempt at a very verticality heavy
Yeah.
map, and
Yeah.
I would put it, personally for me, I would put it probably the highest in C tier. It's above. It could be a B minus for me. I would put it
Okay. That's fair.
C plus, because I think it plays well in competitive as well.
Respectable.
Yeah. I think I mostly agree. Maybe somewhere in between you guys, where um it's definitely a little bit too small. The spawns are the biggest like problem with it.
Yeah.
I do think there are. I do think it's comparable to like Ice Cave and Lost City, in that it can be like a little bit cluttered and a little bit small. I know you feel like Lost City feels big, but yeah, I just feel like the the way that it's like segmented off, and yeah, the kind of claustrophobia in the tunnels and the and in the spawn areas, the staircases, the everything. But Sanctuary, I think Sanctuary is just a little bit better, just because it has more of those interesting kind of sections of the map. Like I think the gameplay around the whatever you call those little like squares where the grenade spawns are.
Yeah. The grenade huts.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
like gunfights around those are super fun. I think the defending and attacking from the towers in each quadrant of the map, that is an interesting dynamic, and then the gunfights along the hammer side, trying to get down to hammer, and then even down at Pistole spawn. It's definitely like cluttered and kind of awkward down there, but it's a pretty unique, just kind of little area. It's a
Yeah.
lot. I think it's a
I agree with that.
slightly better like execution of the same like concept that Lost City, or not Lost City, Ice Cave has at its hammer.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I think it's just a little bit better, just functionally in the way it's laid out, and just little like details in the map design that make it more functional. And there's good spots for the sniper. Obviously, those like towers are interesting for sniper and foul play. FAL, foul
Yep.
play, not foul play. So yeah, I have Sanctuary. It's probably top of C, bottom of B tier for me.
That's fair.
So yeah,
I would also like to add that I think it's one of the few maps where, obviously, not every map has this sort of verticality, but I think it's interesting because you can, especially in pubs, you can have a full game that essentially is all played out in the basement, or
Yeah.
it could be mostly in the midsection, or you could have a game where essentially everyone is up on the bell towers and in the sniper area.
That's
Just
true.
depending where like the first person on the map moves, and then that's where everybody goes. And I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
And I
that's
think it
very
works
good point.
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also think
Yeah.
unlike Ice Cave and Lost City, that you can have a kind of soft map control on Sanctuary by controlling the like kind of catwalk
Definitely.
areas.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
Yeah, like if they just stretch it out a little bit more, make it a tiny bit bigger, and fix the spawns, I would easily put it B or even A.
Yeah, I
so.
mean, you could have the type of map control you could have on Sanctuary is very it's different. You can have different types
Yeah.
of map control.
Yeah.
As you said,
Yeah.
you can have the catwalks, or you could have essentially one
Yeah.
base and then part of the middle area.
Mm-hmm.
You know, or you could do something very funky.
You could do
and,
all up
you know,
top, all down the bottom. Yeah.
Exactly.
Very unique in
exactly.
that aspect. Very unique. Very unique.
And neither
I
of
think it's interesting. I
those,
think it's a good map.
yeah, neither of those like approaches are super like dominant, oppressive map controls like Plaza or Temple.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
No,
yeah, for sure.
exactly.
okay. So Sanctuary, it sounds like high C tier. Do we know if we would have it above or below Museum, or do we want to talk about that at the end?
I have it above
I-
museum personally.
Yeah, I would put it at the very top of C, honestly, above
Yeah.
Ice Caves, above a museum and the other one, because I do think it's a better, more suitable size.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I personally
Yeah.
have Museum higher, but 2v1 Sanctuary is our top of C
That's how it
tier.
goes. 2v1 democracy.
America.
All right.
No,
All right. I'm
Perfect time to
gonna.
segue into. No, I'm
yeah,
kidding.
let's not go there.
All right. So final three here, and starting off with the big one. Temple. Tell us about Temple.
Do we really even need to talk about it? Next. No, I'm kidding. Temple,
I think
obviously.
we need to talk about it. Yeah.
Obviously, it's a joke, bro. It's a joke. No. Obviously S tier. Obviously S tier. It is the Uncharted 2 map. Like it's the first map everybody plays. It's the first map everybody thinks of when they think of a 5v5, 2v2. Works for any, like even 1v1s you can play on fucking Temple. I know that Village is probably the main map, but for 1v1s, but yeah, like it just works in every format. It's good. No power weapons. It's definitely better with power weapons. There's so much reason to push because you need to hold the catwalk. There's a great spawn trap you can do if your team's coordinated enough. The spawns are pretty good. There's really only one I think spawn that's bad is when you spawn top red. It can be like kind of spawn killed from middle stairs area, but other than that, it's kind of perfect. Like the villains get to the hammer first. That kind of sucks, but again, that can probably be adjusted pretty easily in with Reloaded. But yeah, overall it's just the Uncharted 2 map. So obvious S tier for me.
I would say it's an obvious A tier.
Get the fuck out of here.
No, I don't put it in S tier because I think it's
Wow.
obviously. I mean, you're correct about it being iconic, but I don't think that makes it S tier. I think it's below Plaza, definitely.
But
below
it's
Plaza.
iconic for a reason. I think it's iconic for a
It's
reason.
iconic because it's a beta map. It's iconic because it's a lot of people's.
No,
I would
nah,
think
bro.
so.
Like so many people, like throughout Uncharted's history, did not play the beta, but like everybody knows. Everybody knows it's iconic.
Right, but I
Just
mean,
because
it's
it's the
also
map.
one of the. I think it's
Plaza was
definitely
also a
worse than
beta map.
Plaza. Sure, Plaza is S tier. But I think Village is also okay. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Temple is an A map, A tier map,
Wow,
definitely.
that's a hot take, I think.
I think it's an A. It's A. It's not S. It's not S. Just
Wow.
because it's too. I think the structure of it is well. It plays well in competitive and pubs also, but I think that it's obviously it's very easy to just get spawn trapped. It's very easy to lose map control, and it's very easy to hold map control. And obviously that makes it okay. You can argue that that makes a good team better if they can break map control and blah blah blah, and makes it a good map.
Right.
But I think Plaza is better in that regard because Plaza is more of a map that flows more freely. I think you have more ways of breaking map control. This is, I think it's a bit too. You're a bit too much trapped in villain side, hero side.
Interesting, bro.
I think it's because it's too easy for a team to just take map control and then they camp it out. Because this map is not
What's
fun. Yeah, this map is not fun if people play the way that you're supposed to do if you want to win. It's
right?
just not fun.
What's
And
fun?
Plaza is a map where you can do lots of different things to break out of spawn. This is too like cookie cutter, spawn here, and it's a perfect square. So A tier for me. I can't make it S tier.
Interesting. Like, funny enough, I think it's the exact opposite. Like, I think like if you're facing a coordinated team on Plaza, I think it's so much harder to get out of a spawn trap than it is in Temple, and I think it's a lot easier to get spawn trapped on Plaza. Because there's like essentially nothing like there's not really a push that you can do on Plaza to get out if you're all five stuck in the base, because like no matter which side you push, you're getting shot from at least four other dudes on like all sides of the map. Like everybody can see you pushing out. Like you're fucked. But like on Temple,
I
like
agree. I'm sorry.
on Temple, you can do a 5-man push. You can do a 5-man push out into the hammer room, and you're getting shot by like three people max. Like so most of the time, it's only two, because most of the time, the fifth guy will be like guarding like red doorway or green doorway. So it's really only the Deagle dude and the hammer guy. So I feel like it's a lot easier to get out of that egregious spawn trap in Temple, and I feel like it's a lot harder to spawn trap the other team in that base in general on Temple. But yeah, that's my take.
I would agree, but I would like to say this on Plaza. At least you can take map control of different parts. Like if you can break out of the spawn trap, let's say you're on hero side, and you can take
Hmm.
control of hammer, and then you can work your way into shotgun, and then
Yeah,
you
I
could
like
take
that too.
control of
Yeah,
deagle. Whereas on Temple, let's say you're on hero side and you spawn in hero base, you're completely trapped on red side. I mean, yes, of course you could take bottom green, which is probably what most people would try first.
yeah.
But then you're also just trapped down there. It's
Yeah, but then
too
you have access to
symmetrical.
Deagle, and then you can work your way
You
out
probably
from
don't,
there. But
though.
like on Plaza, you have to spawn out. Like it's almost impossible to take map control unless you spawn out, and that's basically by chance. Which I don't think is as coordinated and teamwork focused as Temple, where you can do a coordinated push, take back the hammer room, get access to Deagle, and then eventually push Cat when you have more control over the bottom. Yeah, that's just my take.
Okay.
Bugs?
So
Gave you a lot to work with.
yeah, Temple is top of S tier. I think
Yes.
for me I will just throw in one thing that is I think only true of Temple, which is
Uh-huh.
really it. I don't think I've ever seen this in like any other multiplayer game, where there's like different levels of map control. Where obviously there's like the foundation of catwalk because that gives you the height advantage, gives you RPG access.
Uh-huh.
Then you can push to control top green or top red as well and start spawn trapping. And then you can push for full red or full green control and contain them into like the one side spawn or hammer. And then you can also push into hammer and have a complete spawn trap. So there's like levels at which you can play and can control spawns, but
Yeah,
it's also
that's a good point.
the more you spread that out, the easier the catwalk break becomes. So I think it's this really interesting tension where the further you push, the more like oppressive map control is,
Yeah.
but the less
High
you
risk, high
push, the
reward. Yeah.
more solid the foundation is. So it
Right.
Plaza is like a mostly pretty fixed setup just as far as like how you spread your team out, and obviously just leave one back to prevent spawn flipping. But there isn't a continual push, which the best teams do on Temple, where they can kind of expand or retract depending on their need to protect Catwalk or to apply more pressure. So yeah, Temple. I think Temple again. There are some like iffy spawns, but probably overall, I would say the best spawns of any map. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I think I agree with that. It's really just a top red spawn.
yeah,
The spawns are very good. That I agree
Yeah.
with.
yeah, and even
And like,
the
go ahead.
the balance is so nice of the catwalk spawn, because if you get drawn out and get off catwalk while someone's spawning, they can go there. But if you're unless your whole team like pushes and blocks all the other spawns, you're gonna hold catwalk spawn. Like people are not gonna spawn on
Yeah.
you unless you mess up. But people regularly do mess up because there are reasons to push off of catwalk to protect a
Right.
teammate, to grab the RPG, to whatever it is. So
Hmm.
it isn't impossible to spawn out, and it's also one or two kills can break Temple. It's just the catwalk area is so strong, and there is a real the knowledge of how to play it is so ubiquitous that it's very difficult to really knock a team off. But I mean, once you again, two crucial kills pretty much does it. And
Yeah.
if you're set
Yep.
up, then you can do it. And but yeah, I think it's really fun,
Yeah.
and it can get really campy if a team really just like turtles up with map
Hmm.
control. And it can be a 20-minute match. It could also be a 6-7 minute
A
match.
10-minute mesh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah,
And I do like how there's kind of like multiple different strategies that you can use for map control. Like you can do the the OP spawn trap where you have one on desert, one on hammer, one on catwalk, and you lock them in one
yeah. A
hallway.
full
Or you
trap.
could do yeah, or you could do like three people in RPG room slash catwalk, one person on top green, one person on top red, and trap them at the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Um, or you could just do the generic where you have all four people in RPG, and you have just one person top red or top green, and like there's just multiple ways to win. So I think that diversity is kind of cool. Versus like Plaza, like it's kind of like you can win, if you don't have somebody at hammer, or maybe you don't have somebody at deagle, but it's far from ideal. Like you're risking losing a lot more.
It's
So I don't think
also,
like those are as effective strategies as the temple ones.
and I'll throw in that I think Plaza map control feels so especially oppressive because you pushing out from the plaza spawns, it's just 3 rows you go straight ahead before
Yeah,
you can go
and
left
you
or
can be
right.
seen
Yeah.
from everybody.
Yeah.
Literally, everybody's gonna shoot you. Yeah.
Whereas Temple, you have three angles where the attack can come from, and the straight ahead. I mean, debatably kind of four, because the shield and deagle is a slight distinction, and yeah, the attack is a little bit different if you have someone coming from either above or below deagle.
Right.
So yeah, it's just it's just super interesting. So yeah, I have it top of S tier. So for now, it is going S tier. I think just because we all had Plaza in S, Temple is below it in S tier for now.
Sure, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect you thinking Plaza is better than Temple for sure. I just disagree with it being in a different tier. I think
I
it should be
gotcha.
S with Plaza.
All right, last two. Trainwreck. RaNDiM thoughts on Trainwreck?
I think Trainwreck is kind of controversial in the community. I like it. I have it in A tier, just above Facility. I think its main knock are the spawns. I think the spawns are pretty shitty, which, now that we're talking about all this, seems to be a very common trend in Uncharted 2 maps. The spawns are really bad. Like, people spawn behind you all the fucking time. They feel random almost. Um, but I love the snowstorm. I know people complain that they can't see, but I personally love that. I think it's really cool, and it adds some dynamic aspects to the map. I think the power weapons are pretty balanced, like how many there are. I I like it overall as far as strategy goes. I don't think it's anything too crazy like Templar Plaza. Like, for the most part, you just hold Deagle in mid train and have somebody watching the flanks and blocking the spawns. But I don't think it's too in depth. But it also can get kind of tactical, like when the spawns get a little hectic. But yeah, I just think the spawns are the main bugaboo, so I have it in A. One of my fave maps for sure.
I would put, honestly, if this was my list, I would put Trainwreck in A as well, but I would put it.
Okay.
It's so hard. I do want to say, I want to put it above Temple, but maybe that's stretching it.
Crazy.
I don't.
No, bro, this is your list. What you're
I,
saying right now is your list. Do it. Do it.
the thing is, Trainwreck has one huge con, and that's the spawns.
Yeah.
I would say that if the spawns, this is obviously I'm saying if the spawns were more in control and more set, in the way the Temple
I'd put
is.
it in S tier. I'd put it in S tier.
Yeah, if the spawns were better, I would put this above Trainwreck. Oh, I'm sorry, put it from
Above
Temple,
Temple.
because I think it's a lot more interesting than Temple. And
Interesting.
I really do prefer the Temple or Trainwreck is sort of like Plaza for me. It's quite open. You can move around the map. You have some verticality, which I think is a lot more fun.
Yeah.
Which you really on Temple of course you have the catwalk and then you have Deagle, but you have verticality in the sense that you're very secure. Like, who's gonna kill you if you're on top of the catwalk? I think that's makes it boring and sort of really promotes the camping thing. On Trainwreck you have verticality, but also you're super exposed, like on Villain Train.
That's true.
Obviously, you can.
There's no cover up top the verticality. Yeah. You can't head glitch.
If you have a foul, you
part.
obviously you have a great view and you can probably pick off a few people.
Yeah,
but
and even in mid train, you can be shot from multiple angles.
Same thing. Yeah. So you have verticality, you have power positions, but they're very, very risky as well. So if the spawns were better, I would put this above Temple. I don't think I can because the spawns are so bad at this. That this is kind of a struggle to play sometimes. So I would put it. Sure. I would put it in A, but I would put it. I would definitely put it above Facility, but below Temple then.
Okay.
And also like the detail that this is the only map where the power weapon is not available directly off spawn. You have to wait for the train, which I think is kind of fun because then you have like 5 minutes of uninterrupted gameplay without a real power weapon.
True.
And also the weather effect is interesting. It makes that you can't just stare down one line of sight all game long. You can always you can use the weather to your advantage. Maybe push a little bit. And,
yeah. What you got, Thugs? I know it's your favorite map.
It's my favorite map, but I have it in A tier still. Like personally, for me, it's S tier. But as far as like how good of a map is this? Like just straight up, I think it's A tier. Yeah, I think it has the best. Probably my favorite map dynamic thing. I know we talked about the helicopter on High Rise, and then I'm sure we'll briefly mention the tank on Village. I think the snowstorm and both the snowstorm and the train being knocked off and making the RPG available are like fucking great, especially because because Trainwreck is like actually very consistently between like 8 to 12 minutes. It's and the RPG gets
it
one or
never
two
goes to 20 minutes.
Yeah. So you get like 2, maybe 3 RPG uses, just kind of depending on the map. So it's I think it's also, we mentioned Plaza for a second. I think it has a really, really great balance of AK and FAL usability.
Yeah, that's true.
I think Sniper's great on it. I think that the spawns are definitely a problem, but I don't think they're nearly the worst. I think Ice Cave is much worse. I think Sanctuary's
Yeah,
worse.
I agree with that.
I think I don't think overall Village is worse, but there's some really bad Village spawns. Like, I
Yeah.
swear there are times when I
Uh-huh.
spawn in the line of someone else's fire, like already. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
you know. So yeah. But yeah. So I think it's kind of mid, kind of bad for spawns. But other than that, I love that the snowstorm makes it like an AK stealth kind of
Hmm.
close quarters map.
For sure.
And yeah, and I also like that it does kind of have the soft map control thing that we kind of mentioned with Sanctuary, where there's a few ways you can control the game, and especially with I think the Deagle side is the side to go for map control, but then the RPG spawns
Yeah.
complete opposite, so it forces
True.
some movement there, and really there's always gunfights and interactions going down at the RPG. It seems like that's where teams really clash once it becomes available.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yeah, I think it's just really well balanced in pretty much every way. Like shotgun can be really good, especially in the snowstorm. Snipers good on it. Foul, AK, like whatever you want to do, you can find a way to play to your strengths on Trainwreck. It really doesn't force anything in terms of gameplay.
I think it's like similar to Plaza in that way that the map layout to me
Hmm.
suits Uncharted so well because you have all of the elements of the climbing, the verticality, and you know the whole thing about because in a train wreck in pubs especially you play it sort of like a circle most of the time. You run around in a circle and then you
Yeah.
sort of are affected
Yeah.
by all the different elements of the map.
Hmm.
So I think this just a spawns that are so for me they are
Yeah.
very annoying.
Fix those easy S tier.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think it definitely is a great map.
And I think one positive that you could say about the bad spawns compared to like Sanctuary or Ice Cave is that for the most part, I feel like you can kind of like prepare yourself for them.
Yeah,
Like
they're
if you
very
know you're in a
predictable.
position like somebody died, yeah, they're predictable. Yeah, they're bad, but they're predictable. Like you can set up and be
Hmm.
like, okay, this dude's probably gonna spawn behind me. I have to watch this. I have to be careful for this. But like on Sanctuary or Ice Cave, like it's totally fucking random. Like it's
Yeah.
just all of a sudden you're getting shot in the back and you're like, oh, I didn't expect that at all. So
Hmm.
No, especially if you're on top of villain train, then you know, okay, they might
yeah.
spawn to my left on rocks, or they might
Uh-huh.
spawn because there's two spawns on rocks,
On
one
Deagle, yeah, to the
closer and
right.
one
Yeah.
further away
And one
on
further.
rock
Yep. Yep.
side,
Yep.
and then
Uh-huh.
there's the one next to the ledge up to Deagle spawn, and you have three spawns to check. So a good
Right.
team will sort of check that off. Okay, nice, three people are gonna spawn. Let's all take a quick look here.
Yep.
So it doesn't. That's true. Actually, it's not as bad as other maps. But I think it's very good. It's very good.
Okay,
Yeah.
So
so
for me, A tier, top of A tier.
I think we all said A, right?
Yeah.
yeah, it's A tier for
Solid.
sure. The only thing is, Wheezy, did you say you have Trainwreck above Facility?
Yes, absolutely.
I
Okay.
did too.
Okay, me too. So, Trainwreck top of S tier or top of A tier along with Facility. Um,
Right,
all right.
because you guys have Plaza on Esther, yeah, or Temple. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
It's crazy
So,
people.
all right. Final map. Village. Um, Go ahead and tell us.
Yes, I
Tell us
think I already know how Randy will rate this one. I think that
Okay,
he will
let's
put
hear it.
this in
Let's
a.
hear it.
I think he will put this in a B category because I think he, as I believe, it's a bit chaotic and a bit how trying to say this a bit it has too much of a power dynamic between the hero spawn and villain spawn.
Okay, okay. I respect you thinking that, but you are wrong, my good sir.
Damn. Damn.
I have it at the top of A tier. I have it above Trainwreck. Yeah. I think it's part of the power trio. It's the main three Uncharted 2 maps. I don't think anybody can deny are Temple Village Plaza. Like kind of like everybody plays them in that order for the most part. Um, so I feel like it's also equally almost as iconic as the other two. But as you said, it's definitely not perfectly balanced. The spawns are atrocious sometimes. It can be very hectic, and for the most part, it's kind of hard to hold map control spots like Temple and Plaza. Like it's very hard to lock down a section and keep it for the whole game. You can do it if you're really skilled, like if your team is really skilled, but for the most part, it's really hard. So for that, I would not put it in S tier. I would put it in A. I think I gave it a little bit of an edge over Trainwreck just because it's part of the power trio, the big three. But yeah, I have it top of A.
I would say that this is a cut and dry middle B map. It's below Flooded Ruins for me. I think
I respect that take.
I don't think it's very good. I think it's mostly because I think the map is so uneven. I mean, I think when most people picture a village, they think it's a symmetrical, like good, even fair map. I don't think it is. Like if you play against a good team and you play hero side, then you're at a huge disadvantage every time you spawn. You're gonna be fighting an uphill battle. If you go left up towards the shotgun, then you're so exposed because you will have people on Deagle, you will have people inside the GAU just waiting for you. And obviously, if you go right side up to Hammer, you're also extremely exposed. And as soon as you come up there, you're in the cover. You're gonna get grenaded instantly, or you're gonna get fouled from the top. And I think it's so uneven that one team, the villain team, they have map control. As soon as they spawn the map, they can have one guy just stay in the spawn, foul,
Yeah.
and then they
Yeah.
can have. They're
It's definitely
content.
not.
They're content with having. They can share
Right.
Deagle. They can share Hammer and Sniper. Because
Right.
villain sniper is also better than hero sniper, because the hero sniper is so easily grenaded from the villain spawn. You can
Yeah,
just
it's
throw a
very wide
grenade up there.
open. Yeah. Huh.
So the villain spawn is so much better, and I don't think it plays very well. I think there's, I don't. I think it's especially now in the era we are in now, where people are so good at this game and everyone knows every nade spots. I think
Yeah.
it's too chaotic. Too many grenades
Mhm.
everywhere. It doesn't flow well. I think it's maybe in the beginning, like in if we're talking beta and like in the first couple of months of this game is a lot better. But now, even in competitive, I think it's B tier. It's barely. I think it's worse than Flood Ruins for me. I don't like it very much.
Wow.
Sauray somewhere clapping right now.
Yes.
I think
definitely like Sorry.
like if you're spawn trapped on the bottom, I think you're definitely right. It's kind of S just because you're basically dead. There's not much you can do if you are spawned down the bottom and enemies are on both sides of you. But I do think that, funny enough, the bad spawns kind of help with that, because you definitely you will get killed. You will get killed there, but like sometimes you will
Mm-hmm.
spawn out and you'll spawn behind them, and you can kind of break out of it. Um, yeah, like what you said with villains spawning, like it's essentially like if one team spawned on a catwalk. I don't think it's as egregious as that, but it's kind of similar. To where like villains just kind of get the good stuff right off the bat. However, though, like I don't think being heroes is that much of a disadvantage, just because the spawns are so hectic. To where like I mean like we played heroes on village in the finals against 1337, and we cooked that map. Bosnia went off, of course, but like
That's
I
because we
think it
flip
was
the
like
spawns.
yeah, exactly. That's my point though. Yeah, you're spawning at a disadvantage at the very start, but you can easily flip them and hold control. So I don't think
But I think that adds to my point though.
I mean yeah, to an extent.
Because we need
Like
to flip the spawns in order to have map control. That's what I'm saying.
true.
So
Yeah, but
that's what I'm saying. Like you can't have
I
control
I
of
just think it's very controllable. Like I think
for
yeah,
one
like one
side.
side definitely has an advantage, but I think that you can very easily flip it and get it back to your advantage if you want to. So like I don't think the initial spawn matters much at all. I really don't.
Mm-hmm.
But like eventually, obviously, yeah, you're going to want to hold the top base, but it's no different than
Yeah.
holding catwalk, so that doesn't factor much into it to me. But I also like how like your team can hold your team can choose to hold the deagle side and the GAU side, or they can choose to hold the hammer side, or they can try to do both at the same time. Like there's a lot of different options to do. But yeah, like just with the hectic spawns, I think that definitely prevents you from holding solid map control. But yeah, overall, I don't mind it. It's part of the big three for me.
I don't want to go over thugs this time, but I just need to say that I mean, obviously, to have the best map control in the village, you need to have villains spawn. Even if you
For sure.
spawn
For
heroes
sure.
and you flip it,
Yeah.
obviously you can flip it. But I
Definitely.
mean, if you look at the other maps, the other great maps, you can have control of hero side or villain side on Plaza essentially, and you
Yeah,
can still have a good map control. And it's the
that's
same on
true.
Temple. Obviously, it doesn't really matter if you which side you spawn on and whatnot.
That's true.
Um,
I just look at hero spawn as like catwalk for me. The only downside is people spawn up there, but people spawn on catwalk on temple
yeah,
too sometimes. So it's that's how I look at it. I don't view that as
yeah.
one way or the other.
All right, thugs, you're
Anyway,
well
thugs.
deserved. So
Without further
thugs.
ado,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if this helps like settle anything, but I'm
Oh
closer to
no.
random. I have village in between Trainwreck and Facility.
that's fair.
I think that it's as standard as it is, just because it's the best fast-paced map, I think.
Yeah,
And
I agree with that. Yeah,
it I think the Temple Village Plaza rotation is so common because it goes from kind of slow, like mostly slow gameplay to the fast pace, then back to
hmm
slow, and then fourth map is typically something either kind of middle or fast, like Sanctuary, Trainwreck, or I guess
or
some teams like
unfortunately,
Fort, you know,
unfortunately,
or the slowest. So
unfortunately.
yeah, so I think for the flow of a series, I think that Village is mostly chosen because of that, especially like early on when Temple was really frequently a 20-minute match.
Can't be a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So to like, okay, mix it up, get to the best fast-paced map
hmm
in Village, I think is just like a choice done to like keep things fresh, um, but some people genuinely, I think, will have it in their. I think definitely have it in their S tier. I think some people have it as their favorite map. I do think the spawns are too bad to like really put it over Temple, and I personally have Plaza over Village as well. And but yeah, I like that Village does have the soft map control. It isn't super oppressive to have. Yeah, it's not so dominant any form of map control on it, and it's very easily flippable. So I personally I've never felt like the hero villain spawned it has impacted that much. I think for the break, first minute 2 minutes of the game, for sure. But after that, I mean, again, I've tried so many times to like hold like really solid village map control, and there's spawn outs, every minute someone's spawning out in some weird place, and so I think that's both good and bad because for that individual player, it can put them in some weird spot where they're just in the middle of five enemies.
Right.
But for I think it's to the benefit of not having a super stagnant, slow like map. Even if you wanted to try that on village, you can't because the next kill you get is gonna put an opponent in your in your map control. Like
Your ass.
yeah. So yeah, I think it has the best like flow, the best structure, and best the best balance of power weapons of any of the smaller, fast-paced maps. It has a little bit of verticality, playing around
Yeah,
the
I like the
snipers,
verticality.
getting to them, and the deagle most notably. Um, yeah, it's it's also very good for objective modes too. So for
Yeah,
what it's
I
worth.
agree. I agree.
So yeah, I think it's really
It is. It's a good plunder map.
yeah. I think it's really good overall. It doesn't. I think S tier, Plaza, and Temple for me. I think they're. I think I feel like S tier for me has to have some balance of really really viable FAL and AK balance.
Yeah.
It really Village only like top a villain spawn. That's the only like really place you can play with the FAL without
Yep.
I guess the sniper areas, but again,
Or
it's
like
so
maybe
easy
top
to.
deagle, but then you get shot in the back. And
Yeah,
somebody
there's
pushes
still
you and you can't do
so
anything
many
because you're
You're
ways.
buff.
too exposed. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, just because it's like it's pretty much a strictly AK map, and but I will add also that I think to its credit, I think it's the best shotgun map. Like it's really fun
Yeah.
to
I agree
use
with that.
shotgun at Village, and not in like a kind of annoying way. Like shotgun on Temple can be really good if you're holding top area and then like go into the spawn and
Yeah.
get someone with the shotgun and then run
Hmm.
away. It's not like that. It's genuinely you can move around the map with a
Right.
shotgun and duck and weave and snake around the map and have some cool gameplay with it. Oh
Very
yeah.
fair.
But yeah, that's I think
Just
that's
about does it.
yeah, I will we can do some like final ranking things because that puts Village. So I have Village over Facility. Um, wait, okay, one second. Let
Wow.
me.
I think this one is the one we disagree on most.
Hmm.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so I have it over Facility. RaNDiM, you have it over Facility.
I have it top of A above train wreck and facility,
Okay,
yeah.
interesting. So
Damn.
then, so RaNDiM and I have it over Facility, but we all had Facility in A, while Wheezy had Village in B. So I think the
Yeah.
Right.
Bottom B.
debate for
Bottom
this
B, yeah, that's very fair.
is
Yeah.
so Village is gonna
Or
be
bottom A.
A tier, but is it above Facility or no? Do we want to?
I don't think it can be really. Like, do I don't know. I just it can't be better at the facility.
I think most people have
I
it
think we
above
could put it
Facility.
yeah, I think most people would too, but I think Wheezy's
I definitely
The
think
Wheezy's
I'm
B
in
tier.
rating
the minority. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
think Wheezy's
Definitely I'm in
rating
the
kind of drags
minority.
it down to
Okay.
below facility. I think that's fair.
Okay.
I think it's too unbalanced. I
No,
can't. I think it's one of the most
I
unbalanced
don't
maps.
I don't hate that take at all. I think that's respectful.
Yeah.
Um,
That's fine. Yeah, a lot of
I
it. I
think
mean, I
like you
think
might be a
some
little more
people.
biased because you're a foul mainer, a foul main, so you can't really use your favorite
But
weapon as
think
much.
of it this way: there's no upside of having blue house. Like imagine if you're standing in blue house, you're more of a victim. You're about to get grenaded. Standing in red house is not a
Yeah.
good. That's not a bad position. That's good. You
Yeah,
have
So,
overlook of hammer or the middle. Blue
but the
house. What do
distinction.
you see? You see a pod of deagle. You see a head glitch on deagle, and you see a barbecue that you're gonna get blown up by.
yeah,
It's
no, that's
too.
fair. That's fair.
It's not balanced
But
at all.
like all maps have their shitty spots though. Like I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
it's that the whole that's the thing. Like you have if you split it down in the middle, hammer to GAU, that's
Yeah.
50%.
Mhm.
Mhm.
The bottom side, the hero side, that's trash.
Yeah, but it's
That's
kind of the same on Temple though. Like you split Temple down the middle from mid red to Deagle to mid green, and the bottom half is kind of trash. So
Well,
I
you
think
could
yeah,
it's
but you're
also.
not you don't have to be down there.
you
You
don't
have
have to
top
you don't have to
green.
be yeah you
Yes,
don't have to be down
you kind of
because you
do.
kill
You kind of
somebody and
do.
then you move up. Like it's a fight over the map control.
Yeah, we see.
Like
I
it's
think.
Kind of.
I think.
you don't have to be a blue house.
Yeah.
I think it's too unbalanced. I think it's a map where nobody wants to be in hero spawn. Somebody has to spawn there, and then I think it doesn't make for a good map for me.
That's fair, man. I
Even
don't.
AK play, I think it's too.
I think the
I don't know.
distinction. I think the distinction is really just that because of it's so easy to spawn out. It's never it for me at least, and I guess sounds like for RaNDiM, it never feels like a problem because it's okay. You're stuck there for one life or two lives, and then you spawn out,
Yeah.
break out, whatever, and then it's just
Or
on.
you get a kill,
Yeah,
you get a kill or two, and then move up.
yeah.
You don't have to die per
It's
se.
so
It is really hectic. Like, yeah, it's so hard to control. I think we
yeah.
did a great job of it in Odyssey of controlling it, and I think that gives it like a little more brownie points for me in my book. Like, like maybe it's just like I might be biased basing off of like what maps I would rather play in a tournament. Like with our team, I think we had Village on lock way more than we had Trainwreck. So I think that was another reason why I gave it the edge over Trainwreck, just on like what maps I would rather play in a tournament. That was basically kind of my list. So yeah, I'd rather play Village over Trainwreck in a
Gotcha.
tournament as far as a team goes.
Okay, so we're putting village below facility, so I'm gonna go.
We with an
I'll
asterisk,
go. Yeah, that's
he said.
Well, if it wasn't for you, it would be closer to top of A tier. So it's
yeah.
I'm
you
glad
you
I put it
influenced
into
the
that.
decision.
I'm glad I stopped that. That's silliness.
Okay, so
I'm looking forward to seeing the people who agree with me because I feel like this is something that I
There's
needed
gonna be a lot of
to.
people that agree with you. There's gonna be a lot of
Yeah,
people.
me and
I don't
Sour.
think you have a hot take at all. I think it's
Sour
Stay
very
strong,
very
Sour.
on bar.
Sour
Yeah,
is
me and
gonna be
Sour.
sending you a friend request very soon.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
It should
yeah,
be a
yeah.
fucking F tier, man. I hate the village, man.
Okay, so I'll start. I'll go bottom to top because I think if we have
Yeah.
any last comments, it'll be on the top order. So F tier we have at the bottom, high rise, and then just above that, ice cave. Just above that, fort. Um, Anything more to
Fuck the
discuss
fort.
there? We're happy with
Fuck the
F tier.
fort. Fuck the fort.
Ice Cave was F. I guess that was only me who put it in C tier.
Yeah, you were the
Yeah.
one who put it
Okay.
in C.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, too.
Sure.
Okay, then for C tier we have Lost City at the bottom, then Museum, then Sanctuary just above that. I know personally I would have BZM higher and even in B tier, but if we're happy with that,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fight
I
too
could
much.
definitely see Museum moving up inside of C tier, but I'm not sure. The
Well,
thing is with Museum, I think we played it too. I think it almost need more competitive time to
Yeah,
do
that's
so.
that's true. That's true.
But
okay,
I would be open to it. That's what I'm saying.
all right.
Yeah.
Then
Eventually, but not right now.
then B tier we just have Flooded Ruins there. Then
Okay.
A tier, bottom of A tier is Village, then Facility, then top is Trainwreck.
Gotcha.
I know I'm happy with that. I personally had Village over
Yeah.
Facility, but I, it's not a big difference for me.
Yeah. It's no
I'm
big deal.
sorry. Did you put Trainwreck over Facility, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Trainwreck's
You did.
almost
Or
S tier for
okay,
Trainer Facility Village.
sure,
If it
sure.
wasn't for the spawns, I'd definitely agree. But we're repeating the same stuff we already said.
Yeah. So then S tier. So for now it is Plaza number one at the top, and then Temple. Anything more we want to say about that? I know I personally have Temple slightly above Plaza. Wheezy, you
I
had
have it
Plaza.
slightly below
Yeah.
in A tier, but
No, I'm chilling
fine
with
with
the
me.
way we have it.
All right.
You're very happy.
Yeah, most of my maps are in the same spot. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Okay. Then all right, that's the list. That is it for episode 2. Thank you Tesup, WezYFBabY, um for being our first guest. Um
Yes, you should feel honored.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's been very fun. It's an honor.
mhm.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, and
I
thank
set the
you.
bar, the standard.
And yeah, in the future, we'll get some more people on here for sure. But if you ever want to run it back later on, then let us know. I'd be down to do a second
Oh,
episode, recurring guest.
Yeah,
Uh,
agreed.
I'm almost done to trash Village and debate.
Wheezy hates the Village, man.
All right, and thank you, RaNDiM, as well, for joining again.
Yeah, of course, of course.
And I think
And
that's...
thank you everyone for watching. Definitely give us your opinions on the maps in the comments below.
Yeah, give us your hot takes, especially. We want fights.
Yes. Tell
we,
us how much you hate Village. Tell us how much you love Lost City. Please give it to us all.
Sour
Anybody
A,
that
we
loves
expect
Fort
you
though is
to...
getting banned.
Oh
Anybody who
my
loves
god.
Fort banned, blocked. No.
Yeah, Sour A better be leading the charge on Wheezy's
Yes.
village take. All right. Yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Like and subscribe and all
Until
that
next time.
fun stuff. Wheezy's channel then will be linked in the description. RaNDiM's will as well. So if you want to check out any of their stuff, go check it out. Do it. Show support. And I think that's it.
Hell yeah.
Bye. Bye-bye.